Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So I just dropped my youngest son, Kai, off of kindergarten. So like first day of school, he does a half day today. Today's Thursday as I record this. Half day tomorrow on Friday, and then he's full days next week. So it's almost like a little sad, right? Like I remember feeling this. So when my oldest Tyson starts grade 3 this year, I remember when he started kindergarten, I was like, I really didn't really understand how a lot of moms were like getting upset and stuff, because I was like, I want him to be in school. Like he was in daycare at the time, and I was just like, he needs to have the stimulus of school and interaction, and we could have had him be in daycare another year before school. He was kind of around that age with the timelines where you could choose to either like have him go into school or still keep him, hold off for another year. And I was just like, no, he needs more stimulus than what's happened in daycare. Like he just does. So, but I remember Tyson's drop off and being like, I'm just happy for him to go to school, Excuse me. There you go. And so, yeah, but when I dropped off Tyson, I was like, oh my God. And I'm like bawling in the car. Now with Kai, it's not quite the same. Because I've been through this before, but it is kind of like, oh my God, how's my little guy going to do? He's a little bit of a handful these days, to say the least. He knows what he wants, and he will stop at nothing to get it, and he has no problem speaking his mind. But we met his teacher. Her name is Mrs. Smart. How great is that name for a teacher, hey? That is destiny for you. And lovely woman. Kindergarten teachers, right? They're often just like sweet as pie. And so dropped him off, and it makes me reflect a lot on parenting. We go into the library, we're all meeting the first time kindergarten students, and you see some of the stay-at-home moms that are there with probably like another little one of one family that's like 2 or 3, and then like a brand new baby. And I'm looking at that baby going, oh my God, like just, probably 2 months old, maybe 3 months. That really like, squishy baby stage where they're just so lovely, and the baby smell and like so great. But yet I look at where my boys are now, and I'm like, I don't want them to stay babies, right? I want them to grow and develop, and we all do our best trying to figure out this parenting thing. I said to my oldest boy Tyson the other day, I'm like, buddy, I go, here's what you need to understand. When you and your brother were born, there was no manual. I said, it's kind of like, imagine if you got a Lego set, and all the Lego sets pretty much come with instructions because it's just to like make a certain thing, right? And I go, imagine if you had to now make your Lego, but you had no instructions. That's kind of what it's like to be your mommy. It's like, I don't have a book that says this is what Tyson needs. This is what he, doesn't work for him, or this is what works really well, or this is what he loves, or if you say these things, he's going to have this kind of response, this reaction. And parenting is tricky, right? Like, oh my God, if you're not a parent yet, and you have these ideas about parenting, or you see other parents, you go like, well, I would never do it with my kid. Sister, let's have the conversation when you actually have children, because it is way different to sit on the outside and to, let's be honest, judge, make comments. I remember when I was in practice before we became parents, and as we saw a lot of families in the practice, and often the question would come up about nutrition. And it would be like, talk about the foods that are best for them, and but it's so hard and they won't eat stuff. And I remember thinking at the time, again, pre-mommy days, of like, what's the problem? Here's the food, eat it, kid. If you don't like it, then you're not going to get anything. It doesn't really work that way, right? You're like, I got to feed them something, like, they're holding out. What am I going to do? Not feed them for 3 days? Like, it's not quite as easy as you think. The plan is going to be great as a theory. It's going to be great on paper. It's going to fly out the window, and you're going to have to like hold on, the seat of your pants as you go up and down the roller coaster ride, which is parenting. But here's something that someone had mentioned. Someone had heard this. I said this on a podcast. And I relate this to parenting. This wasn't about parenting, but I see it as this. And it was, if you really want your children to be loved, because see, for me, we all have our different goals and outcomes and things that we, dreams, right, that we have for our children. And for my kids, it's pretty simple. It's not about them being happy. I know that might sound kind of weird, but to me, life isn't about being happy all the time, because there's going to be times where it's not happy. Why would you have it where the outcome is it's not a realistic one, right? Joyful, yes, but not happy, because there's going to be some really unhappy stuff, and that's okay, and that's part of life. But for me, the dreams for my children is I want them to know that they are loved, that they are enough, and that they love themselves. Like, that's pretty much it. I don't give a shit if my kids go to university or college. In fact, I would actually prefer that they not and live life. And I think that's such an old, antiquated, broken system, and kids in massive debt, and it's just, none of it makes sense anymore. But I want them to know that they are loved, that they love themselves, and that they're enough. And the best way for your children, and I think as a parent, or maybe as you're going to be a parent, or perhaps, sister, you don't have children yet, but you're an auntie, or you've got friends that have children, you're like, oh man, kids are they're so awesome, they're so hard, it's so challenging. But you may want similar things, right? To know that they're loved and to love themselves. And the best way for that to happen, the best way, and quite honestly, I think the only way for kids to grow up with this, versus we grow up, we, struggle through with shit, feel broken, fall apart several times, have shit come up in our life, and then you get to me and you're like 49, you're like, I think I'm finally figuring shit out at this point for myself, right? Or at least for the time being. Because stuff could change tomorrow, because that is life. But the best way for my children to know that they are enough is for me to know that I'm enough. The best way for my children to know that they are loved is for me to feel loved. Which, by the way, doesn't necessarily, it sounds funny, doesn't necessarily require that someone checks the boxes of all that stuff for me. And the best way for me to have my children love myself is, guess what? For me to love myself. Conversations about this stuff, and, books about it, and movies that have some of these things as a theme, and different ways that we can really teach our children. Maybe faith is a part of it for you. Maybe it's, just family time that you have these, things that come up and you talk to your kids about it. But sister, honey, I'm telling you, there's no better way to do it than you actually live it. You show them by how you love yourself. That's how you show them how to love themselves. You show them that you feel loved. And that's how you show them that. You show them that you feel that you are enough. And you show them by your way of being, by the way that you choose to show up. And that's going to be hard for some of you. It's going to be hard for most of us, right? See, I think children give us such an incredible opportunity to clean our shit up. Because we got sets of eyes that are looking at us, watching us, seeing everything. And you can get freaked out about that, or you can go, man, my children are really actually giving me the space to be a better human. I did a bio video, which if you go to my website, which is drkarenostrom.com, you'll see that. I can't remember where it is, somewhere on the website. But I did a bio video, which is about about a year and a half ago. And one of the things I say is, my sons, my boys, my little dudes, my sages, my teachers, they help me be a better human. And I fully still believe and stand behind that. Because I got these babies that are watching me. Not babies anymore. They're almost 8 and 5. this newly alive, my Kai. But yeah, you better believe it. You better believe it. So it is up to us, for ourselves, to learn how to love ourselves, for ourselves to feel loved, for ourselves to feel and know that we are enough for us. But just know, when you do that, you give that same gift to your children. You show them the way, sister. What a beautiful gift to give to your children. And guess what it's going to require? It's going to require you caring for yourself. And this is where the conundrum lies, right? Because for a lot of women, they feel like they can't do these certain things, that they are, they're selfish if they take time for themselves. They don't have the time. They'll do it later. They feel guilty. They feel badly about it. And just know that these decisions that you make to not care for you is not only affecting you, but it's actually affecting your children. Because, on some level, if you're saying stuff, it's going to fall on deaf ears if they see you doing something totally different. If they talk about loving themselves and you don't, talk about, oh, no, honey, your body's good as it is. But you say things like, oh, my God, I'm so fat. Oh, I hate myself. Oh, I wish I didn't have these legs. Your children are going to pick it up. And I'll tell you something else, too. I think they're going to pick it up way more than you actually realize. I think they're going to even unconsciously, even if you don't say the words out loud, they're going to feel it at some level. They're going to feel it. Kids are smart. So the best way, if you want your children to love themselves, to feel loved, to feel like they're enough, you got to lead the way, sister. Hashtag sorry, not sorry, but that's really the way that it works. So here's your more tip for today. What is one thing that you can do that will help you to begin to love yourself more? Now, you might go, no, Karen, I love myself now. And it's like, okay, but you can always create more, right? There's podcasts, Women Wanting More. Like, what is one thing you can do? As my dog Karma groans behind me. What's the matter, girl? Hey, what's the matter? See, Karma's all about karma. I have 2 dogs. They're both great. Hey, girl. Oh, she's so great. Lola, who is like that loyal dog that just, she would take a bullet for us, right? Karma, nope, lives for herself. You know what? They're both great. Karma's a great example of, she takes care of Karma. That's her number 1. Right, Karma? Right? So be like Karma. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. I want you to commit to doing one loving thing for yourself today. I don't care what it is. Look at the mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself. Go take some time for you. Take 30 minutes to read. Go get a manicure or a pedicure. Go to the gym and work out. Meditate. Go hang out with friends. Like, whatever's going to fill you up. Take a yoga class. I don't care. Whatever it is. Extra sleep. Do one loving thing for yourself today. That's it, sister. Easy peasy. So, one quick thing before we finish up. Make sure to subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter. Okay, be part of this tribe. You're going to get first dibs on my book that's coming out in fall of 2018. And I'm going to send you some amazing training videos and how to really start your day in a place of power with the More for Action guide and the video training. So head over right now to drkarenosburn.com. So that's drkarenosburn.com/ So that's drkarenosburn.com/action guide. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you realizing that in order for people to love themselves, your children otherwise, that you need to be one to actually show them the way. And that means loving yourself every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.